Not?
So, how do you feel about like not too long ago there was like a little thing going on about Peso Peso and how you can't speak Spanish or whatnot. How'd you feel about that?
Man, I really feel like, man, that's what a lot of times when they tell me about stuff like that, with me going on, like, I like to give people their titles. So a lot of times there's a lot of things with the Mexicans. They're over here fighting for this, the Latin throne and shit like that. To me, I ain't never fought for that. You know, I wanted to speak for the people in general. So to me, Peso not speaking Spanish, I think is just a perfect example of why people be saying, oh man, you know, Mexicans try to be this, try to be that. Man, that just goes to show you that he was just in the hood where, you know, I mean, his people probably ain't knew no Spanish, but I mean, that goes to show you perfectly that we got the same lingo and everything as other people do. You know, I know how to speak a little bit of Spanish, but not like that. I know how to understand it. I know how to get by, but I don't blame him for not knowing. I mean, shit, you know, it's like sometimes it's just he probably ain't, I mean, I know he ain't really had his people there and like that. So I mean, shit, he just grew up where he grew up around. So I mean, I don't see it as a bad thing. I mean, I feel like you need to know it, but I mean, I don't see it like it's just like a need to be thing. I think that that supports the thing of us not being able to know that we got that blend big time. Because if he was just trying to be black or trying to be a certain type of way, he would know Spanish. You know what I'm saying? So that would show you like sometimes that's just the environment we're put in, and they don't necessarily got people that was first generation people that have been in Mexico. My grandpa's from Mexico, my grandma's from Mexico, my people are from here, but it's like he probably has 3 generations down that were from Mexico. Probably 3 generations of his people were from here. So, you know, it's kind of normal for, you know, if it to be like that. But I mean, if you got some Mexicans in the home and that speak Spanish, you 9 times out of 10 know Spanish. So I just feel like he probably had generations down that had the Mexicans in there that were from Mexico speaking Spanish to him.
Oh yeah, for sure. Now I see that you had a song with Mac Young. And the only reason why I bring it up is I just had an interview with Mac Young. How was that though?
Man, Mac Young, that nigga right there, I fuck with Mac. Like, Mac's one of the few that I feel like ain't scared to invest. And that's when a nigga ain't scared to invest and do some shit, I'm gonna go to the full extent for the nigga, man. I'm gonna do more than what everybody else would do, you know. Mac Young is one of the ones that he could call me and ask me for advice, and I'll be picking up my phone every time to tell him. And I fuck with Mac Young, so keep on grinding, Mac. You know what I'm saying? You almost there, brother. You know, so keep it going.
Let's talk about you, man. So when you were growing up, like what made you do music? Like what made you want to do music?
Man, because I felt like shit, man. I feel like a lot of times there was no way to express myself. You know what I'm saying? Growing up, and I just grew up in the party, kind of like Kane. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I felt like when I was growing up, like that Menace to Society. That's how that movie was so much to my life story that I feel like it was like that. So, you know, what made me feel like that was it was my escape to my only time to be in a zone away from the problems that were going on at home. So I really feel when I write, man, that shit helps me a lot to release my frustration and to be able to tell a story and people to relate to it so much, is because I know if I'm feeling this way, there's a whole bunch of other kids that are feeling the same way. So that's what I really started to do music, man, was an escape, you know, and that's what it was, you know. Just like